Generator started. Smoke screen set. Enemy just
Alright, so we're back once again, and today we're going to be going through the European destroyer, the Orkan. The tier 8 destroyer. It's a European destroyer, but it's got a bit of a weird history. You know, it was a former British destroyer that was given to the Polish fleet. It wasn't actually a part of the Polish fleet. So I suppose the European title is actually pretty apt. So basically we're going to go through these stats. This is a very interesting destroyer for me because some of the stats are a bit weird. Yeah, let's just go through it. So the Orkan is a former British destroyer, Myrmidon, given to the Polish fleet. The main Orkan's strength in the game is her main caliber guns. Fast and long range torpedoes act as an auxiliary armament due to the not very high damage and having 4 torpedoes in a salvo. The destroyer has surveillance radar but no smoke generator, which is a bit odd, but it's okay. That's not the main issue. Okay, so hit points are going to be 15,700, plating 19mm, main battery 3x2 120mm. Okay, so it has 6 guns, which is fairly average. Firing range 11.6 kilometers. Dispersion this range 102 meter, which isn't too bad. Sigma 2.0, which is fine. Now let's get on to the interesting part. Maximum HE shell damage 1,750. Chance to cause fire 9%. HE initial velocity 774 meters per second. Now this is pretty large, like pretty large. I'm going to say why in a second. Maximum AP shell damage 2,250, AP initial velocity 774 meters per second. Reload 4.5 seconds is insane. 180 degree turn time is 9 seconds. So let's just break this down a little bit. I did a little bit of math here. So I'm going to compare this to the tier 8 French destroyer because I'm guessing both these ships are basically gunboats. So I compared it to the Le Fantastique, and so the maximum HE shell damage on the Fantastique is 2000, and the maximum AP damage is 2700. Now if we ignore like penetration and stuff like that, just raw damage, let's just go with raw damage. The Fantastique has a reload of 6 seconds at stock, and we're going to be comparing stock here because I think that gives us the best baseline, because people can run different builds and different captain skills and stuff like that, which can alter how things are actually played out in the game. So let's just go with stock. It has a reload of 6 seconds, so that gives a possible DPM of 20,000 for HE shells for the Le Fantastique, or 27,000 damage per minute for the AP shells. Now if we compare that with this ship, the Orkan obviously has a HE alpha damage of 1,750, AP alpha damage 2,250, and a reload of 4.5 seconds. Now the DPM actually comes out as 23,330 for the HE shells versus only 20,000 for the Le Fantastique, and almost 30,000, 29,992.5 for the AP shells versus the 27,000 for the AP shells of Le Fantastique. So the damage per minute is massively improved over the tier 8 French destroyer. And then I went even further and I compared it with the Kleber, basically the most iconic like gunboat in the game, open water gunboat. And the raw DPM I think is still either on par or it's better for the tier 8 destroyer, Orkan, which really surprised me. Now again, we're not taking everything into consideration here, but I just thought I'd do like kind of like that back of the napkin kind of interpretation of just the raw numbers, and that really surprised me. Now the one thing I thought maybe that would compensate for this would be the fire chance, but with the Kleber the fire chance at base is obviously 10%, but with this ship, as you can see, it's obviously 9%, which again is you're going to be spamming shells that much, it's not going to matter. 1% either way isn't going to matter all that much, and it can kind of be compensated by just like adding a flag. So this feels very strange, very weird to me that they'd actually, you know, introduce this much firepower. Now again, the one thing I will point out, it has no smoke. It has radar, which means it's going to be a complete open water gunboat. But the radar is actually pretty interesting too, because with that much DPM, you're going to be a dueling monster, especially with that reload. Obviously, there's going to be other ships that can get the reload roughly to that time, but I'm going to do a full comparison. I want to see how other DDs stack up to this. So I just did the quick French destroyer comparison, and it really kind of shocked me to an extent. But that being said, let's continue. Obviously, they say the main caliber guns are going to be probably the most important aspect of the ship, and it definitely seems like that's going to be the main important aspect of the ship. So, with that being said, let's get on to the torpedo tubes. 1x4, 533mm, maximum damage 10,700, which is pretty low actually. Yeah, that's pretty low. Range 12 kilometers, which is pretty decent. Speed 76 knot, which is really fast. That's pretty goddamn fast. Torpedo detectability 1.6 kilometers. Now I don't know if this is standard for tier 8, because I know the Gearing has detectability of 1.4 kilometers on her torpedoes, so it's a bit larger than that, but obviously the Gearing's a tier 10. I'll have to do a little bit more comparison to see how that turns out, but again, torpedoes aren't going to be the main aspect of the ship by a long shot. Reload time 70 seconds, launcher 180 degree turn time 7.2 seconds, that's what can you do? A defense 1x4 40mm, 6x1 20mm, 1x1 102mm, 3x2 120mm. 3x2 100. Why do they even include that? That's just the main battery. How is the main battery going to be? Okay, maybe I'm just being delusional, but anyways, I don't think A is going to matter all that much, because if the carrier sees you, you're going to lose 7,000 HP regardless, especially if it's rocket planes, and that's more to do with carriers than it is to do with any kind of DD armament. Now obviously every little bit of A helps, but at the same time, the way this ship's going to be played is going to be an open water gunboat, and you're not really going to be in the position to be like, you're going to have to be so maneuverable that you're not actually going to be near all that friendly ships. So if your carriers spot you, the AA on your ship isn't really going to matter all that much, I don't think. That's just me kind of theory crafting how this is going to play out in my head. But again, I wouldn't discount it, but you know, it's always nice to have AA. Maximum speed 35 knots, pretty slow. Obviously that can be boosted up with flags and stuff. So you're probably going to get close to maybe 40 knots. Maybe you get 38.5 if you get that CRM mic, which gives you like, I don't know if it's 10% or 5%. If it's 10%, that takes you up to about 38.5 knots, which isn't far off 40. And obviously you get the engine boost too, so that's going to take you over 40 knots at top speed. So not too bad. Turning circle radius 590, again not too bad. Rudder shift 3.7, which is a bit sluggish. Yeah, a bit sluggish. I think the US DDs are actually a bit quicker than that, but you know, it's not terrible. Again, I think the main aspect of this is going to be speed, gunboating. I don't think there's going to be much more to it. Surface detectability range 7 kilometers. Again, with concealment experts, that's going to take it down 10%. So you're going to be looking at 6.3. Then with the camo, that's going to take it down another 5%, which is going to be about 6 kilometers, roughly speaking. Yeah, probably 6 kilometers. Air detectability 3 kilometers. Detectability after firing main guns and smoke 2.5, which is standard. So nothing really huge there. I would love to know the range on... What's the range? 7.5 kilometers on the surveillance radar. That's going to be interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out in game. Because if you get the detection down to about 6 kilometers, maybe 5.9 or so, then you have like a 1.5 kilometer buffer range. So if you rush into a cap and pop radar, you might be able to spot a DD before it spots you. But at the same time, why would you be rushing a cap on this ship? Even though it's probably going to be really good at dueling because of the low reload time and the good alpha damage, but again, you run the risk of being blocked by the enemy team. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see the available consumables. Damage control party, basic stuff. Engine boost, obviously that's going to take you up to around 40 knots, all in. Repair party, duration time 10 seconds, HP per second 157, reload time 120, charges 1 or 2. That's interesting. That's a lot of stuff on their ship actually. A repair party, engine boost and surveillance radar. That's a lot of power given to this ship. I think overall this is going to be a really strong ship. Like really strong. And it's going to be a fun destroyer to play too at the same time. Well, all strong ships are really fun to play, but I think this is going to be actually really one of the few exceptions that are actually really fun to play. But yeah, as long as you don't get spotted by carriers and then instantly die. But with that being said, that's the Orkan, the Tier 8 European destroyer. hopefully that gave you a little bit more information of on one of the ships that are coming into the game. We're still going to go through the Arashi and the Ajir, because they're going to be coming into the game too. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.